Back here at the Class C Championship, no score with 3:51 to go in the first quarter. Mahnomen and Waterville Elysian. I'd like to welcome KTHI and Fargo for the telecast of the Class C Championship. Of course, they're neighbors of Mahnomen, about 80 miles to the west of Mahnomen.
Glad to have you with us over there in that part of the world. 39-yard punt it was by Bob Bjorgi, so 5 yards longer than his average. Now Waterville Elysian will go to work. First and 10 at its own 15-yard line. Chris Gross sparks the signals. They go right back to Matt Sorensen with the fullback up the middle, across the 20, and Mark Bogley, the linebacker, brought him down about the 21-yard line.
Waterville Elysian has not gone back to the air since the first two attempts to throw it Nide's way, which were both well covered by Dean Burdick. And they tried to maybe set up the pass somehow, running it straight ahead, which they also do very well.
They outscored their playoff opponents 189 points to 54 leading into this. Slot to the right is Selbury. They pitch to the left side, and it's Toston Taylor. And good pursuit, almost nailed it. At the 20, Taylor might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but I think they'll lose a yard on the play. Great pursuit back there on Toston Taylor. Mark Bogley finally stopped the play.
Neither team is exceptionally large. They both rely on quickness. Waterville Elysian's been able to run outside well throughout the season, but they may be matched in quickness here by Mahnomen. They're out there way ahead of the play. Two players are, and then three more in pursuit to bring down the ball carrier, Taylor.
Tom Little taxiing in for Brett Christensen on that left end to bring in a play. Now Waterville Elysian will throw Corey Nide wide to the right, tight end left. Slot to the right is Selbrade. Second and 3 at the 22. Off the middle to Toston Taylor again, and he muscles across to the 25-yard line, running into most of the Mahnomen defensive line. Led in there by number 71, Charles Coleman, as you have a look at him.
Just got the first down. Tough running by Toston Taylor, which is a great football name, by the way.
Great name. Toston Taylor.
Interesting to know the origin of that name. A little, maybe he's a family name or something.
We have no score.
5'11", 170 pounds, number 23.
2:21, clock running, time remaining in the first quarter. It is now first and 10 for Waterville Elysian's Buccaneers on their own 25-yard line. Selblade split out wide to the right, deuce backfield, slot left. Fumble, and Mahnomen got it. The fumble was on the snap, and I think it was the linebacker Mark Bogley who got a paw in there on it, and Mahnomen gets it back in great field position inside the Waterville Elysian 25.
There must have been a mix-up on the snap count there, because it did not look like Gross was expecting the snap. Although maybe he was. He jerked back like he was expecting to receive the ball, but it just hit his hands and dropped straight back down. Mahnomen is on the recovery, and now they have moved that field position game well to their advantage. They started deep in their own end and brought it out over the 30. Now, deep in Waterville Elysian territory.
Jason Miller tripped up as he came to the line of scrimmage by the right tackle Brent Herring. 61 tackles on the year coming in. Now he has 62, as you see, number 74. He also has a fumble recovery. Brent Herring, the right tackle at 6'192", senior defensive lineman. Loss of a yard on the play makes it second down and 11 for Mahnomen on the Waterville Elysian 25. There's no score late in the first quarter. Class C title game. In the double tight end set, Oakland motion left, penalty marker in the backfield. Jason Oakland to throw. High, lazy spinner, and it is caught at the 6-yard line on a great little catch.
Dean Burdick made the reception, but it's going to come back because they had two men in motion at the same time, which of course you cannot do. It looked like Burdick was in motion at the same time that Jeremy Oakland was. So a mix-up there is going to cost him a big play.
Jeremy Oakland was one of the full house backs who cut to his left at the time. Then Burdick jumped off. So on the illegal motion, it goes back to the 30-yard line. With a minute 10 to go in the first quarter. No score in the game. Second and 11 at the 30. I'm sorry, second and a bunch more than that at the 30. Fake. Oakland, play action. He'll keep it and be nailed at the 22-yard line. Jeremy Oakland finally run out of bounds by the safety Chad Atherton, number 22. Got a nice little gain on the play with inside a minute left.
Nice play by Atherton here. You get an athlete with Oakland's quickness to the outside. and looked like he might be able to turn it upfield to make a big play out of it, but Atherton comes up and makes a nice low tackle, taking his middle away, and that doesn't leave you anywhere to go but down to the mat.
Now 24 seconds left in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 8 at the 22 for Mahnomen. Almost extra motion there. Fake, play action high, and overthrown for Howard Spaeth, who was there in single coverage with Chad Atherton as they tried to lay it right behind the seam.
Well, there was definite contact before the ball got there. Ken Bauman wants the penalty. Here's the throw by Oakland. They may be ruling that Atherton was going for the ball, but you can see he comes up, makes the contact before the ball gets there, and that's what Ken Bauman is hot about on the sidelines for Mahnomen.
There is no penalty. The ball is at the 22-yard line. It is 4th down at 8, and Mahnomen is going to go for it with 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Jason Miller, a fumble by Jason Oakland, and it's recovered by Corey Knight, and Waterville Elysian might have got the ball anyway, but definitely hasn't now, as Corey Knight has been a big play guy here in the first quarter for the Buccaneers.
Oakland pulled it out of there, wanted to run something wide, but before he could get a handle on it and do whatever he was going to do, he dropped the ball. Here he pulls it back, fakes twice, and then he was looking to get out and around Tom Little. He could not do it. The ball came loose, and the quarter comes to an end.
That is the end of the first quarter in the Class C championship game, Prep Bowl 89. There's no score as Mahnomen and Waterville Elysian go at it.
Ready to start the second quarter. Waterville Elysian to the attack from their own 24-yard line. Both defenses have been very strong here, not allowing much yardage. Waterville Elysian going under a real test here. They conquered Minneota, a passing team, ended their victory string at 40-something.
48.
48, was it?
Amazing, and they whopped them, too, 43-14. Now Chris Gross brings the Buccaneers to the line at his own 24-yard line. It is 1st and 10. Audible here. Some audible. Nobody knows what's going on, so they're going to call timeout. That's a little obvious.
I started to say Waterville Elysian has had to switch their defensive scheme from the pass-oriented last week in the championship to get to Prep Bowl to a run-oriented defense here, and they've done it very well so far.
Coach allowed out on the field during the timeout, and so they're going to have a little talk about that. The Buccaneers' only loss in this season, they're 12-1, was a 20-13 loss to Medford in the 4th game of the year. They turned the ball over 6 times, and according to head coach John Bakken, had a terrible week of practice. He said, we've never been overconfident since then. They beat Medford the next time they met. That was in the state quarterfinals. Whopped them 42-12.
And you got to look at John Bakken in the Waterville Elysian huddle. Now we're over on the Mahnomen side of the field.
There's John Bakken. Getting his offense squared away on what they were going to do back there. There was some confusion. That's frustrating because then you have to burn out a timeout to get squared away. But a good quarterback, when it is plain that it isn't quite clear, will go ahead and use it. 1st and 10 at the 24 as we start the second quarter. And it comes right back to Matt Sorensen, who is stacked up at the 26 by Earl McDougall. We talked about this game with John Bakken, the head coach of the Buccaneers.
The team overall kind of thinks that way. They're more so of a team to say, we're going to just try to play as best we can this week, and the other team turns out to be better, we're going to lose a game. If it turns out not to be, we're going to win the game. They don't try to make too lofty goals and just try to play the best they can.
John Bakken, the head coach at Waterville Elysian.
And he was talking about his team doesn't get too excited. I had asked him whether the victory over Minneota was shocking to them or terribly surprising. He said, no, that's just the way they go about things. They do the best they can under the circumstances that present themselves, and so far that's been good enough to bring them to the Prep Bowl.
Well, it sure has been. It's now 3rd and 7 for the Buccaneers on their own 27-yard line. No score in the game. Corey Knight, wide right, play in the middle, might have been a fumble. They'll stack it up back at the 25.
He definitely dropped the ball. I think the green shirts are back on top of it, however, but that's going to bring up 4th and long and punt formation, or deep punt formation, as Lindsey Nelson used to say.
Deep punt formation, that's right. Deep punt formation. 10:46 left in the first half at the Metrodome. There is no score in the game, our Class C title game. Using that glove, the boot from Troy Larson sails high and away. Jeremy Oakland is going to have to chase it. Whoops, did he touch it? It falls out of bounds at the 20, and that's where they'll mark the ball down. And that's where Mahnomen will take over 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line when we come back to the Prep Bowl.
Mahnomen back on the attack, and it's been jockey for position. Each team has had a little bit of field position, but has been unable to do anything with it. Defenses have been that stingy. We have no score. Just underway in the 2nd quarter. We're about a minute into the 2nd period.
Mahnomen certainly has a great tradition of winning football over the years. The all-time record at Mahnomen, 386 wins, 133 losses, and 9 ties. That's a 740 winning percentage.
Ken Bauman in his 21 years is 187, 34, and 2. Been runner-up a couple of times at Prep Bowl, and would like to go one better here today.
He's won 84% of the games he's coached. Here's the pitch back from Jason Oakland. Turning the corner, Jason Miller at the 20 to 25. Smashed at the 29-yard line and driven out of bounds by Tostin Taylor on the lead block at the 23. Number 23, rather, 30.
Look at a great picture of this one. Is Jason Miller, not related to the Gopher hockey player, as far as I know, runs it right at our camera. Looks like he might be able to turn it up and get the first down, but the pursuit is there again. Chet Atherton getting help on that play.
Bill
Second short.
Down there. Is there anything left with Bill? Yeah, he's up in the corner. We're all right. 2nd and 1 at the 29-yard line. Right through the middle on the quick play across the 30 to the 31. And just to the first down marker, Darren Fromm and Brent Herring.
There's Phil. He works on his back pedal a little bit during the intermission so that he can get out of the way of traffic.
That's what he sees down on the sideline there. Just made the first down, and his 1st and 10 from Mahnomen on its own 31-yard line. Jason Oakland, the senior quarterback. Jeremy Oakland in motion. Jason, play action.
Nothing developed downfield. The pursuit catches up
by Brent Herring, number 74, as he tried to turn the corner, and Trent Morris, the defensive right end, also there to wrap him up.
This is a risky rollout. He is a left-handed thrower, but you can see he's fading away from the line of scrimmage all the time until the end there, and the pursuit just catches up with him. And normally on those rollout plays, there's only 1 or 2 at the most options, a short one and a man breaking deeper downfield. That's a hard ball to throw on the run, and if they're covered, you'll have a heck of a lot of options.
9:02 left in the first half. There's no score. Mahnomen and Waterville Elysian. Class C championship game at the Metrodome. Glad to have you with us throughout the upper Midwest, and you folks in the Fargo area as well, as you look at the Mahnomen Indians area. Along with Jim Gilliland, this is Doug McLeod. J.G. Preston down on the sidelines. Barry Williams here too. Be back a little bit later on. Glad to have you aboard for Prep Bowl 89 at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. Jeremy Oakland, now who backs up Jason Oakland, is in at quarterback. And he tries the pitch as they turn it back for Jason Miller. Got a block, but there was very good pursuit by Waterville Elysian's John Riley, number 60, who had 59 tackles on the year, and Corey Nye, number 83, who was there. And here's the field level look again.
John Riley is 6'3", 190. And Jason Miller, the halfback, both introducing themselves to the sidelines and all the coaches and staff that are gathered there. Mahnomen and Waterville Elysian tried to get to the outside, but they're finding that the other team is just as quick as they are, and consequently have not been a lot of big offensive plays.
Jeremy Oakland now in the junior quarterback. A quick jump. Stunning around in the Elysian backfield. The fake first draw in the hand of the second man through got stacked up and nailed by Darren Fromm, and Matt Sorensen and John Riley were in, and that is great defensive coverage.
Here's him picking the second man.
Jason Hendrickson.
Through Hendrickson in the game too, as they try to get a little spark on offense, but Waterville Elysian is having none of it.
There was Darren Fromm, the nose guard. 8 minutes flat to go in the first half, no score. And being 4th and 13, Bob Bjorgi will boot it away. Nope, not much distance. It goes straight up and drops at the 50-yard line. Up for grabs. And and finally does bounce right in front of one of the Mahnomen players. That will turn the ball over with 7:45 left in a scoreless second quarter.